Welcome to Tea Time with Aya on Arab American Times, where we share real conversations with real people who are making a positive impact in the world. For today's guest, I really don't know how to put her story into words because she's an entrepreneur, a trauma coach, a performer, and she transformed her pain into a movement that's changed thousands of lives. Her story is a journey of faith, resilience, and just saying yes to everything when life was pushing her in the opposite direction. Please help me welcome Sarah Fadoul Boulos. For those who don't know, please tell us about yourself and what you do.
So I am a mother of 4 children. I am a spouse, and I am the chairperson and founder of the Society of the Performing Arts in Nigeria.
I forgot to ask before we begin, would you like some tea? I would love to pour you some. Oh,
perfect. Thank you so much.
cheers.
Cheers.
Test it out. When we had our last conversation, you gave me a little background on your life and how you lived this fast-paced, jet-setting, exciting life before everything changed.
Yes.
So can you take us back to the moment that led you to stepping away from it all?
I was part of this jet-set life. I was doing a lot of parties, very much welcoming everyone in my house, very open-minded, a bit too open-minded. And I got burned out. One of my very good friends didn't feel that she could belong everywhere, and she felt slighted by me, and she just betrayed me. And then I was devastated, and my lovely husband sent me back to try for me to find solace somewhere else. So he sent me back to Houston, Texas with my friend Rita, and then Rita just welcomed me back in pieces. And it was a very interesting encounter. I had to find myself back physically, emotionally, and I had to shift. I had to shift my way of thinking. We call it, I learned it recently, repentance in a way, but I had to find a new way because the old way was not working anymore. So she took me, and I made fun of her many times. She took me to church, and I said, "What is this?" And everything started from that moment in church.
How old were you when all of this was happening?
Turning 30 years old. So I was 29, turning 30 years old. It was the 8th of December, 1999. It's interesting. It was also during the Jubilee years of a lot of children from the Catholic faith.
And I remember you told me one day in your Bible study,
Yes.
a woman came up to you and told you to literally dance for the Lord.
Exactly. So 29 years old, fast forward to 33. So basically I had this serendipity encounter with the Lord in church. I knew, Lord and behold, that there was something much more than me. And I was humbled. And it was from something I said, and the priest quoted it. So that's how the link happened. So supernatural, physical, emotional. 3 years down the line, still the same thing. I'm searching. I'm trying to understand who this Lord is, who is Jesus, who is the Son of God.
Something with King of David.
Exactly. So I'm there, and then the lady is there, and she looked at me and said, "You can hear the voice of God." I said, "Oh, wow, I can hear the voice of God." I said, "Yes." And then she prayed for me, and she said, "Do you dance?" And I said, "Yes, I do in parties." So, "No, do you dance?" I said, "Yeah, when I was a child, I used to do ballet." And she said, "Now you have to dance for the Lord." And then I thought she was crazy. But every time I put gospel music, something was happening and stirring in my body. And then fast forward 4 months, there is this Bible study, and then we're studying the story of David. And I found out that King David danced to bring back the altar, and his wife, who made fun of him, was barren. I realized you don't make fun of the gift of dance. It's sacred. You don't make fun of it. And that was an encounter to search more, until I was picked up with my best friend, and she gave me The Purposeful Driven Life by Rick Warren. So I was reading it. Yes. After 5 days of reading it, I was about to wake up, and I saw, boom, a building, dance, music, drama. I said, "What is this?" And I couldn't even fathom what it was. And there was inside that building one empty seat. And I knew that empty seat was for my mother. I was waiting for her. And it was incredible because I woke up and I said, "Okay, there are a lot of people in that building, so bring me the people." And it was December 8, 2003, like 3 years later, that these people showed up in my house. I was inviting them. I was inviting them without knowing who they were. I just knew that I wanted to do Christmas carol and singing. And I had prayed. I said, God, if you want me to do this, bring me the people. You say dance, bring me the people. But when I did my party, I was inviting singers.
8 singers. How many people showed up?
When the gentleman came and I said, I want 8 singers, he said, ma'am, we're not singers. We're dancers for the Lord. I said, then what are you called? We're called Spirit of David. I said, how many are you? I said, we are 1,000. Okay, I prayed for people. I got 1,000. This is incredible. And that's when my journey with SPAN started. But I did not kick it off until that very moment in December 2003.
So just to recap the story you just gave me. So you get this book, you're reading it. I remember you told me you fall asleep.
Yes.
You have this vision of some type of something. You heard 15,000.
Yes, so it's very interesting. I heard 15,000. Mm-hmm. So I found out later on in my research that 15,000 could be the price you charge in Naira to a class. 15,000 could be the volume of the building you want to build. 15,000 could be the people that you're going to impact. So when you have a number, it's always good to look at it from different perspectives as a symbol of a reminder that whatever journey you are taking on is a journey of purpose and divine purpose.
After all of these signs, I would call them.
Yes.
And like you said, you were trying to hire 8 singers. You got 1,000
dancers.
David dancers, which is insane.
Of David,
Life hit you with an unimaginable loss.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day, you lost both your aunt and uncle.
Yes.
And then not even within 24 hours, you lost most of your immediate family.
Yes.
But as I can see, and everyone who meets you, you have this spirit and this joy, and you're radiating the most positive energy. So please, if you're comfortable, share us more about this story.
Yes. So on the 23rd of December, I turned 33. On the 23rd of December, 2003. I'm having all the ladies that were part of my life in the jet set days. And I'm saying sorry. And they're all there. And they became best friends, all of them. And I'm saying that I'm starting something new. Lord and behold, I didn't know that on the 24th of December, we were sitting, having dinner, Christmas Eve dinner, and then we hear a phone call that my aunt and my uncle, in their house, there was a fire. So we went out to the village and we found out that they left the candle on the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree is artificial, caught fire. They died asphyxiated by the tree. They could not escape. And I saw the big dog. And then when I came out, I had sensed God telling me, be strong. And then I didn't see him. So I felt I was like going on the cross, honestly. And then within few hours, I give a phone call to my mom, and my mom says to me, oh, we are on our way to the airport. And I'm like, okay, though, I'll see you soon. She said, yes. But you'll come tomorrow? She said, yes. I knew that my dad was trying to put the funeral earlier so that the people don't travel, but they wouldn't listen. They wanted to come to the funeral of my uncle and my aunt, which was his brother. And then I don't hear anything. By 6 p.m., I see my husband telling me, please come with me. We need to go down to the hotel. I said, why? He says, because something has happened. And I said, can you tell me what it is? And he said, I want you to just be patient. When we arrive down, we will tell you your mother, your brother, his wife, your cousin, the father of his wife, of Rita, were in a plane, and the plane landed on water. So my husband was trying to put everything in perspective for me and trying to still find hope so that I don't collapse. We're already burying my uncle and my aunt. So we land at the hotel in Phoenicia, and then we see the CNN crash. So basically, my mother, my brother, my sister-in-law went to the airport, and they found out that there was another airline called UTA, and they changed the airline ticket for this plane, and the plane crashed. So on Christmas Day, I buried my mother, my brother, his wife, my cousin, the father of his wife, my uncle, and my aunt. I went through 7 funerals on Christmas Day. I mean, honestly, I saw black flies everywhere. I didn't see anything else. And until I said no, and I said yes to life, I would have been in that big sinking darkness. Not knowing that my family died because of an overloaded plane of fruits. And the pilot had said, the plane cannot take off, please. We need to offload. And the owner of the plane said, no, take the plane off. And that's how everything ended like that. So what do you do at this moment? You have two choices. You can wallow in your state of mind, and you can, so I cried out to God and I said, find me somebody who believes in you, because right now I'm not seeing anything. And then my friends who heard me cry, they said, nobody believes here. I believe. So I was so upset. I was accusing everyone. And then they found someone, and the gentleman came, and the gentleman had cheeky rose, I will never forget. And he looked at me and he said, I'm here. You called me. I'm representing Christ. I am Christ. And then he came in. I couldn't find this person ever again in my life, but things shifted.
Is this in Lebanon?
It was in Lebanon. And he was a priest. And he explained to me that there was a flight coming from Medjugorje, and the Medjugorje was saved and the flight was spared. So while one flight crashed, another one was spared. And he was the bridge gap, and they were praying for my family in the church when they called them. And it's incredible when you see that God will send you the right people for your purpose, but you just need to embrace life and not death.
I just wanted to ask, you said that you went into this like slump, huge slump, huge slump, but not even a year later, a short year later,
yes,
you launched the Society for Performing Arts in Nigeria, and it wasn't any
9 months.
9 months,
Yeah.
exactly. See, what a little slump, which is like it was an impactful slump, but clearly you not overcame it, but you achieved so much in such a short time afterwards. And the First Lady of Nigeria now,
yes,
she
exactly.
attended the launch.
That's it. She was the wife of the governor at the time. So it was incredible to see the 35 school represented, the 30 school represented. It was incredible to see all these young people on stage. It was incredible to see, one of the singers was a head in Chevron, and he sang the song of Moses, Bring My People Back. It was incredible. We had so many people rallying around me, and we were able to bless a lot of people who didn't have opportunities. And it was the launch of this free school to help educate people who have no opportunity. And to see the honor and to see how people were together gathering, it redeemed every crash of history. And I was very much emotional and grateful, because I found it was like a bridge, spanning bridge. And so having span in my life became like a baby that we were giving birth to, something new, something hopeful.
I've already told you this so many times. Yes. I even bawled my eyes out when you first told me this story. You're so inspiring. You're one of the most inspiring people I've ever met. And your story just shows how the ripple effect is real. Because so many people that were under your wings actually ended up opening their own dancing academies internationally.
Yes, this is incredible. And it started in my garage. We had like maybe 12, 13 students at the beginning, and they spread like wings. And the ripple effect of job entrepreneurship, and they all became entrepreneurs, and they're all very successful. So I'm in awe. I'm in awe of surrendering, of having obedience to something more.
Your story and your perspective on life, despite whatever happens to you or what you go through, is just so inspiring. And I know you're going to inspire millions of people. I remember something else you told me that stuck with me. I'll never forget this. You told me that in life, you can choose to be the victim, the perpetrator, or the observer.
Exactly.
So the victim is the one who feels powerless, and the perpetrator is the one who wants revenge and has this like bad negative cycle. But you told me, and I will never ever forget this, that in life, when you're an observer, you have two options. You can either observe and do nothing, or you can take action and be the hero.
Exactly.
And break this cycle and help others and make the victim be the forgiver and the perpetrator be the forgiven.
Yes.
And one other thing, this is like my favorite word now, by the way, so thank you. You told me about a little Greek word, agape.
Yes.
Which means unconditional love,
Yes.
unconditional, merciful love.
Yes.
Please tell me what all of this, philosophy and like this word, what does it mean to you?
So we eat food every day. We smell, we hear, and we watch. So we have those 5 senses. Mm-hmm. And if we want to be connected to a higher wisdom, or illuminated to a higher power, or having instruction from God, those 5 senses are awakens. The only way you can awake those 5 senses is to command your body and your soul and your mind to love. Then the 5 senses awakens. Why people celebrate Valentine, for instance? No. Or why do they celebrate love? When you have this, there is something bigger. Can you love your enemy? Can you find mercy in something or someone that is spitting at you? Can you look at with the eyes of God that person and say, I'm sorry, let's work on it? Or pick up that person who's broken, angry, who's been shattered, and take that person and say, you're loved. God loves you. Can you do that? Is it humanly possible? It's not. The only way it can be possible if you allow your body to do it. And you allow your mind and your soul to do it. And you allow God to take over. Because if it was me as a human being, I wouldn't be able to do that. But if it's God in me, it's a different shift and mindset. So then you attract favor in your life. You attract supernatural movement. Because now you're not only walking by yourself, you are walking with something bigger than you. And so there is all these ideas that come into your life.
Energy.
The energy changes and you are surrendered. You're submitted to love, agape. You're submitted to it. You don't command it. You receive it. So you can give it back.
I really think in like the 2 short days since you've taught me what agape meant, I swear I felt lighter. I felt happier. I swear I looked into it. It's like, I think everyone should live every day with unconditional, merciful, abundant, and consistent love for everything, like themselves, their family, the people around them, for strangers, for God, for life, for the universe, for positive energy. Like the love you put out and all of this positive connotation, you will surround yourself and attract love back and happiness and opportunities and success, everything. Agape is the word of the year. So let's switch things up a bit.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a few rapid fire questions. Are you ready? Okay, question 1. Mm-hmm. What is one life lesson you live by every day?
Never assume.
Why?
Because if you assume, you make judgments and you make quick decisions. Always do your research. Very important. Never assume.
Number 2, if you could give advice to someone struggling with loss, what would you say?
If they are not with you today, they are in a better place. It's you who have to deal with that until you meet them again. So enjoy life because they are watching over you. And take that moment for you. And ask them to give you some signs. There are always angels out there.
I was going to ask you, asking your loved ones for signs, what can these signs look like?
It could be in the form of waking up in the morning and switching on the TV, and then you know that they're speaking through the TV to you. It could be in the flying of a bird outside, and then you know they're there. It could be of a nudge when you wake up in the morning, you're having your coffee, and suddenly there's a flashback, and you know that they're here. It could be just in your sleep when you're about to sleep and you hear good night. It could be those little signs. It's very small. It's very simple and it's real.
Question number 3. I feel like I already know the answer, but what is a book that changed your life?
The Purposeful Driven Life by Rick Warren. Definitely. What
is it about?
So it's about how you make God smile.
Oh yeah, you told me.
Yes. How can you make God smile? So he teaches you that we are all born the seeds of Adam, and we are all born to walk on this earth, to dominate the land, to take dominion in the gift that we have and honor God everywhere we go, with our family, with everything that surrounds us. So he tells me, have you made him smile today? Have you used your values? So for instance, my values are love, giving back, generosity, and creativity. Am I using those three values? Am I accomplishing the purpose to take dominion around what God has given me? Am I sharing those values? If I'm not sharing, I am depleting myself from who I am. So what happened? God is smiling. And I know that I feel it in my heart. Okay, you're smiling. Okay, I did well. Let me go. Continue. I don't owe it to anyone.
Yeah.
I owe it to myself and to God.
This is my favorite question.
Yes.
What is your favorite Arabic dish, and is there a special meaning behind it?
My favorite Arabic dish is mloukhiyeh. Why? Because it has the three ingredients that are very, very healthy, but also it's full of flavor. It's made of chicken, it's made of bread, it's made of rice, it's made of herbs. And this whole combination makes it so nice, and it's not too heavy on your body.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
It
not
feels
fried.
refreshing. I don't know how to say
Refreshing,
it.
and you digest very well.
Last question is
Yes.
my signature question. If you could sum up your legacy in one word and one word only, what would the word be?
Thrive.
Why?
Because we don't strive, we thrive. Every day we wake up in the morning and we know that we are here on earth. We are grateful that we woke up, and it's time for a new day. It's time for rewriting your story every day and carry the message that God has given you.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for being on Arab American Times. I'm so grateful. Thank you for sharing your story. I'm so inspired. I know anyone who meets you or hears your story is so inspired and is motivated to thrive.
Yes.
Before we wrap things up, is there any last thing you would like to share to anyone listening?
Listen to more of Tea with Aya.
Oh,
If you have a question or you wonder about life, she has a divine ordained purpose. And I believe that she's your go-to girl and leader for you when you're stuck. That's it.
so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Wait, let's cheers one more time. Would you like, do you want a refill?
Yes, please.
Let's do a refill.
I love it. Actually, it's very nice.
صحتين.
For my teeth.
You actually like it? صحتين. Thank you guys for listening to Sada's story. If today's tea time inspired you or taught you anything new, please share it with someone that you think needs to hear this, because we should all help each other out at the end of the day. And stay tuned. See you guys next time on Tea Time with Aya. Yay!
Congratulations. Inauguration.
Nigeria.
I'm
so happy. I'm
So
so
glad.
honored to have you.
And every time you think about it, you think of thrive. And the book we are reading is actually called Thrive. I've always been thriving. I've never been striving. And God has shown me so many things about thriving, because you're not alone. He's taking you on a journey.